Welcome friends to another Halo Lore video. Today we focus on the Forerunners and some of the basic things that their technology can do. The first thing we'll look at is vacuum energy. Now, when we look at all the technology employed by the Forerunners, the majority get their power from vacuum energy. Now, unless you have the high-tech technology of the Forerunners, you're not going to know about this source. The Halo Encyclopedia tells us that this vacuum energy is harvested from an infinite number of nascent dimensions, and that this gives the machines of the Forerunners pretty much limitless power, and that this was a brick in the incredibly high wall the Forerunners made in terms of the later machines that could make. This was a platform from which they built up to that. This energy exists throughout the entire universe, so there's never going to be a place they go where they can't draw on it. The origin point of this energy is an infinite number of alternative realities. These other universes are drained of the energy early in their life, in their infancy, if you will. And so they die before they can really get anywhere. And this powers, then, that sacrifice powers the Forerunners tech. There are some dangers with this energy though as well. There was an issue with a vacuum energy extractor at base 4276, and this led to a level of quantum fury being unleashed, and in the area it struck, both space and time was warped, and there were other material damages such as to the metal of the facility which was warped. Another tenet of Forerunner tech is communication. They're able to communicate, and think of the size of their empire when I'm talking about this. They were able to communicate instantaneously across incredibly far distances. This was done through wave space. This is defined as a narrow field within a slit space accessible by way of powerful relay pylons. And so this allowed the linking together of many facets of Forerunner culture, their history, their life. It was all weaved into a great network that every Forerunner could access, no matter their location, anywhere in the galaxy. And the next one is gravitics. And it's pretty brief, this bit, so we'll just go directly to the Halo Encyclopedia. The Forerunners had entirely mastered this science. Gravity could be easily manipulated in all areas of Forerunner life, for basic needs like moving and holding everyday objects to immeasurably larger ones, such as the elegant and dramatic transformation of the surface of a world. And amongst many different ways of moving round, a basic way that the Forerunners did this was gondolas. Many different designs were employed within this type of travel technology. So in larger Forerunner structures, there would be in the form of hulking platforms, or if they wanted to cross chasms and seas of great size, the gondolas will be swift and elegant, skiff-like. The next one we're going to look at is hibernation. Long lifespans were very driven to find techniques that would stop the wearing of time on their bodies. This was both through smart matter bonds and service drones, and they were able to place many mechanisms and constructs of their genius in hibernation for great lengths of time. Sometimes they could be hidden in very much plain sight, which could lead to misunderstandings if humanity, or more likely the Covenant, found them later. And we'll come to the last two areas here. One is weather control. Within Forerunner installations, they can do things like controlling the temperature, the atmosphere pressure, but they were also able to generate weather control in that they could control it so that it would just appear like any other world's weather, but it would be controlled by the Forerunners. So perhaps they could have sunny days and rainy days, for example. And the last bit is security. Obviously, with the threat of the flood very much on their minds, they had a drive to understand and employ a lot of different types of containment. As the Halo Encyclopedia says, this could be through quarantine walls, compartmentalized installations, and many fail-safe systems. But of course, none of these were flawless. For example, sky crypts suspended above forgotten ice worlds were virtually inescapable to those they detained, but this did little to secure them from an interloping outside force. And after that brief rundown of the various types of machines employed by the Forerunners, that's where I'll end today's video. But what do you think, friends? Are there any things you would like to have seen added here? I tend to go a lot more into this in the future. Let me know.